power hides well. Truth cuts deeper. The Epstein Ledger. In theaters now.
Ladies and gentlemen, what you're about to see will change everything you thought you knew about who really runs Washington. The sealed files are opening, the names are tumbling out, and the Democrat Party's darkest secret just went nuclear. Because the man they took money from, the man they protected, was Jeffrey Epstein. Years after his conviction, years after the world knew, and now the receipts are here. Now, this isn't just another scandal, okay? This is the thread that unravels the entire fabric of Democrat power. We're talking about the House Minority Leader taking cash from a convicted predator. We're talking about major party leaders who knew exactly who Epstein was and cashed his checks anyway. Every Democrat who took his money is now radioactive. Every connection now a liability. Every donation is evidence. And here's what should terrify every American. If they were this comfortable with Epstein after his conviction, what were they doing before? Right? How deep does this go? How many campaigns were funded? How many politicians were compromised? The entire Democrat fundraising machine is now under the microscope, and what we're finding makes Watergate look like jaywalking. Your government wasn't just corrupt. It was bought and paid for by the most notorious predator in modern history. And speaking of being prepared for when systems collapse, let me tell you about My Patriot Supply, because right now they've got a special deal on their 3-month emergency food kit. Save $100 while supplies last. This kit gives you over 2,000 calories a day for 90 days. We're talking real meals, right? Breakfast, lunch, dinner, drinks, even snacks, not just freeze-dried mush. Everything's packed in sturdy buckets made right here in the good old US of A. Lasts up to 25 years. No MSG, no junk, just food you can count on when it matters most. And yes, they've got fast, free shipping, 30-day returns, even disaster replacement guarantee. So when disaster strikes, your family will be eating 3 meals a day while others scramble. The link is down below. Go to preparewithgary.com and get prepared. Now, here's where it gets worse. You see, the Democrats didn't just take Epstein's money. They actively covered for him. The Oversight Committee just revealed that Democrats cherry-picked 3 emails out of 23,000 pages, then made their own redactions to hide Virginia Giuffre's name. Why? Because she publicly stated Trump never did anything wrong. They buried exonerating evidence while pushing a false narrative. The White House press secretary exposing their entire game, but they hid the fact that their star witness said Trump did nothing wrong. The cover-up absolutely crumbling. Here we have, oh, look at the meme. Hakeem Jeffries and Jeffrey Epstein arm in arm. Such a nice picture. Oh, here's Hakeem all getting totally confronted by Alison Steinberg from Lindell. But let's check in with President Trump and something he's going to pull out of his pocket here for you.
Now, I just got a little report, and I put it in my pocket, of all the money that he's given to Democrats. He gave me none, zero, no money to me, but he gave money to Democrats. And people are wise to your hoax, and ABC's your company, your crappy company, is one of the perpetrators. And I'll tell you now, I just got a little report.
Oh, yeah, ABC is the fake news. Now, check this out. This clip is absolutely fire. Alison Steinberg, White House correspondent with Lindell News. I mean, she's doing amazing work these days. I let her know it. I shot her a text message the other day. I said, you just keep it up. You are on fire. Now, Ronald UP Man says, Jeffries was slurping and burping for a check from Epstein. Get off your knees, Hakeem, and wipe your chin. Ooh. And then Mark Ultra MAGA said Hakeem Jeffries fails to answer a question about recent reports claiming he personally accepted money from Epstein and hosted him for a private dinner. The claim stems from a 2013 email released this week by Republican members of the House Oversight Committee. The email sent by a Democrat-aligned consulting firm working for Jeffries' congressional campaign invited Epstein to a Brooklyn fundraiser dinner on October 23, 2013. Instead, Jeffries simply deflected and blamed Republicans for stalling the release of the Epstein files. The same files Democrats sat on during the Biden 4 years in office. Let's go to Allison in the congressional press room.
Money House Oversight Chairman Comer said yesterday on the floor that you had Jeffrey Epstein over for dinner and took money from him back in 2013. This was after he was on the sex offender list. Any comment on that? And will you be holding members accountable regardless of party affiliation if there were any misdeeds related to the Epstein files?
Was that a serious question or a serious statement from malignant clown James Comer that I had Jeffrey?
Wow. Look at how he just goes out and starts attacking.
Or a serious statement from malignant clown James Comer that I had Jeffrey Epstein over for dinner, that I accepted money from Jeffrey Epstein. What's extraordinary to me about the clown show on the other side of the aisle is that they lie with impunity on things that are objectively verifiable. And why do they do that? It's because for months, Republicans have been burying the Jeffrey Epstein files.
For months. Yeah, you guys buried it for 4 years during the Biden administration.
Not Democrats. Our view continues to be the same. We want to make sure that what the survivors have asked for, which is full and complete transparency in order to bring about accountability, actually happens. And Congress decisively and in a bipartisan way acted yesterday with respect to the release of the Jeffrey Epstein files. That's a victory for the survivors and a victory for the American people. And Donald Trump needs to sign that bill into law expeditiously.
House Oversight Chairman Comer said yesterday.
But did you take the money? Simple yes or no. And are you going to hold others accountable? Yes or no? Complete deflection, completely ignoring the question. So this is the email evidence. Hakeem Jeffries had solicited donations from Jeffrey Epstein. I think this is classic political karma. That's what Political Pulse writes. Now, we did uncover this email a couple days ago, but now it is blowing up everywhere. The reactions are fast and swift and deflecting. Dear Jeffrey, we're thrilled to announce that we're working with Congressman Hakeem Jeffries, one of the rising stars in the New York congressional delegation, sometimes referred to as Brooklyn's Barack. He's a staunch supporter of President Obama and a progressive voice for the people of New York City. New York One did a public piece about his work on the vitally important budget and judiciary committees in Washington. You can watch the video here or read the text below. Oh, there it is. In black and white, directly to Jeffrey Epstein email inbox. Yeah. So what we need to find out now is exactly how much money went to Hakeem Jeffries. That will take a little bit of digging through the Federal Election Committee, but I'm sure we can find it. House Oversight Chair James Comer is preparing to arrest Bill and Hillary Clinton if they don't comply with Epstein subpoenas. This, the big headline over at InfoWars. House Oversight Chair Comer prepared to arrest Bill and Hillary if they don't comply with the Epstein subpoenas. House Oversight Chair says Clintons could receive Bannon and Navarro treatment if they don't comply. Aiden Salazar, the author here. Ex-President Bill Clinton, former First Lady Hillary Clinton could face arrest if they refuse to comply with subpoenas or testify regarding Jeffrey Epstein, Comer warned. Speaking to Real America's Voice on Tuesday, following the House passage of the Epstein File Transparency Act, Comer confirmed if the ex-president and his wife refuse to comply, they will be given the Bannon-Navarro treatment. 100%. Oh, you want to see it? Check this out.
Mr. Chairman, there are two very important people that you subpoenaed early on, that you asked to voluntarily cooperate. They didn't schedule their interviews. Now there's a subpoena. But Bill and Hillary Clinton, if they continue to duck you, will you take them to court? Will you try to enforce a subpoena? Will you go the Steve Bannon and Navarro route?
100%. we're going to go that route. We expect to hear from Bill and Hillary Clinton. Look, Donald Trump's answered questions for years about Jeffrey Epstein. Every day he gets asked questions about Epstein, and he answers them in front of the American people. We've subpoenaed Republicans and Democrats. 2 Republicans have come forward, Bill Barr and Alex Acosta. They did interviews and deposition, and those were tough, but they did them. They didn't back down. Other Democrats have sent letters that saying they knew nothing about Epstein, which would hold in court if something ever comes out that they did know something, then they've committed perjury there. But the Clintons have never responded. They're the one group in this investigation that's never had to answer questions in front of a credible reporter, and they've never certainly answered questions from attorneys or members of Congress. So we expect the Clintons to come in, or I expect the Clintons to be met with the same fate that Bannon and Navarro were met with when the Democrats were in control.
Oh, yeah, baby. It is all coming out now.
Subpoenaed early on.
Bill and Hillary Clinton going to get the Bannon-Navarro treatment. Oh, I can't wait to see that. I cannot wait to see that. You know what they did to those guys. Perp walks, mug shots, leg irons. I mean, it was bad what they did to Navarro. Here's the press secretary talking about the big scandal.
And if you look at how this Epstein story sort of evolved over the past week, it's classic Washington hoax.
Yes.
You have Democrats on the Oversight Committee leaking redacted information to their favorite reporter at CNN, who then pops the story with that redacted information and does not reveal that the unredacted version is available. And the unredacted version proves that the so-called victim in this email is a woman who is unfortunately deceased, but prior to her death said on numerous occasions that President Trump never did anything wrong and was always incredibly friendly in her interactions with him. And so it's a purposeful leak to try to manufacture this news cycle to drag the president. And we've seen this play out so many times. It is a classic playbook of the Democrats using their friends in the fake news to spin up a narrative about the president. And so we just don't tolerate it. We don't give in. We just call it out for what it is. And we move on and we focus on the issues that we know the president was elected on. And I would just add one more thing on Epstein. I mean, the Department of Justice has turned over tens of thousands of pages to the House Oversight Committee and to the American people. I mean, they released everything that's legally releasable online or to the House Oversight Committee. They also tried to move grand juries to unseal documents in various states. And unfortunately, those judges declined. And they've been fully cooperating with the House Oversight Committee. So this idea that there's files that the DOJ is hiding or that this administration is not being transparent is just totally false. It's a fallacy. And I understand people have questions. And when you're on the outside, you're skeptical of government, and people should be. But there is literally nothing to hide. And President Trump has maintained that this entire time. And so, again, this is a classic playbook being run by the Democrats. And one last thing, it's not a coincidence that this leak came on the morning of the president signing a bill to reopen the government. Right. If you look at how
this narrative control, it's very simple. That's how they do it. Hakeem Jeffries solicited campaign donations from Epstein in 2013, years after convictions, according to emails released from the Epstein estate. Yeah, weird. Isn't that weird? And here we have Alison Steinberg again. Here she is, must watch. 24 hours ago, we asked Representative Troy Nehls about Hakeem Jeffries reportedly accepting campaign donations from Epstein, and his response pulled no punches. Buckle up.
Comer just said on the House floor that Hakeem Jeffries' campaign accepted money from Jeffrey Epstein in 2013. I mean, what's your response to that, and should he step down?
No, I don't think it. Was Jeffrey Epstein convicted in 2013?
Well, there was some sketchy stuff
coming out. What I'm saying is, come on, I don't think he was convicted in 2013. So the point is, you could say the Plaskett, the whatever the gal is, that was texting Trump, in the hearing. While, you could probably say she accepted thousands of dollars, I think up to $30,000 or something, and they didn't give it back. The DCCC didn't give the money back. So it's just, listen,
No, I just want to inject a correction here. He said emailing or texting Trump. He just simply misspoke. He meant Epstein, and he's getting the timeline mixed up too because Epstein was already convicted at that time. So, this congressman doesn't have all of his facts in order, but I mean, the general message comes through. I just wanted to clarify that for you guys as you're watching. You probably caught it too.
In the hearing, you could probably say she accepted thousands of dollars, I think up to $30,000 or something, and they didn't give it back. The DCCC didn't give the money back. So it's just, listen, this place is nothing but a big swampy place, right?
True.
And if you're ever going to fix Washington, D.C., you got to get the money out of it.
Yeah.
You got to get the money out of it. But I want to go back to what the media, the dishonest media, the fake media has done to Donald Trump over this. Thousands of people out there calling Donald Trump a pedophile. Donald Trump is a God-fearing, good, great father, the greatest president in my lifetime, and people are saying he's a pedophile. Why? Because of the crap you guys are peddling, making it sound like he's actually tied to Jeffrey Epstein. And when you find out he's not, what?
She's like, the crap you guys are peddling. He's assuming that she's a member of the fake news industrial complex when in fact she's part of Lindell TV, which is a member of our team.
Are you going to say then? What's going to happen? Are you going to sound like he's actually tied to Jeffrey Epstein? And when you find out he's not, what are you going to say then? What's going to happen? Are you ever going to say, you know what, we got this one wrong? We should be better than that.
Right.
The American people just want truth. That's why your ratings are in the toilet.
Well, not us. We're with Lindell TV, and we actually support the president.
I think Lindell's great. I like him, too. I like his pillows.
Okay.
My wife loves his pillows. But the point, and he got a shaft, too, there. He got a
Sure
shaft,
did.
too. All that money he had to spend on that. They tried to
She had to clarify. That was I love it. That was great.
bankrupt the guy. I think
Right.
he's great. You tell Mike I said hello, okay?
I sure will.
You got a great Texas. Texas loves him. He should come down and run for office. He'd be great.
You just might.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Congressman. Take care. Comer just said on the
Oh, that was funny. She's like, I'm actually with Lindell TV. Okay, so the trap has been sprung. How many former and current Democrat campaigns and careers were funded by Epstein? The answer, almost all of them. This guy's take is freaking good. Let's listen.
With him every single.
Need to report a murder in Washington, D.C., 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue, because President Trump just murdered the Democrat Party. We told you that what was been going on this whole time with the Epstein files was President Trump was walking him into a trap. And every single dump that continues to be let out shows us that the only thing at the bottom of the Epstein well are Democrats. And President Trump just filleted them in the Oval Office with the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia.
As far as the Epstein files is, I have nothing to do with Jeffrey Epstein. I threw him out of my club many years ago because I thought he was a sick pervert. But I guess I turned out to be right. But you know who does have? Bill Clinton, Larry Summers, who ran Harvard, was with him every single night, every single weekend. They lived together. They went to his island many times. I never did. Andrew Weissman, I hear.
Oh,
All these
that's
guys
a
were
good
friends
one.
of his. You don't even talk about those people. You just keep going on the Epstein files. And what the Epstein is a Democrat hoax to try and get me not to be able to talk about the $21 trillion that I talked about today. It's a hoax. Now, I just got a little report, and I put it in my pocket, of all the money that he's given to Democrats. He gave me none, zero, no money to me.
Told you this was a trap. He was walking them right into the trap. He's got them right where they want them because the only thing at the bottom of the Epstein well is Democrats. All of the money that he gave to Democrats. And let's be clear, these were Democrats who went to him. They crawled to Epstein begging him for donations for their campaigns. They crawled there. Bill Clinton, by the way, had Epstein at the White House 17 times while he was the president. And then he went on to fly on Epstein's plane 26 times. None of you care about any of that. But Trump has put them right smack in the middle of the bear trap, and the trap is closing, and they're all going to be stuck in it. This is amazing. Hakeem Jeffries, went begging for money. Stacey Plaskett owes her entire political career to Jeffrey Epstein.
Oh, yeah.
Katherine Rumler, who we're starting to wonder if Katherine Rumler was the replacement for Ghislaine Maxwell, because that certainly seems like that's exactly what she was for many years, at least 5 years. Bill Gates, Andrew Weissman, the list goes on and on. And you may notice something. None of those are Trump. Because he's exactly right. He kicked Epstein out of his club many years ago when he found out what he was.
Boom! The trap has been sprung. Oh, this is glorious. Oh, here's Jasmine Crockett, the low IQ genius on Capitol Hill. Look at what she's wearing, man. Oh, she looks like she is ready, man.
He is quote unquote. What do you make of his change of direction when it comes to wanting to release the Epstein files?
Oh, I don't think that there's a change of direction. I mean, I think that they finally came up with whatever their scheme is going to be to make sure that he is quote unquote protected from, you know, all of his dirtiest secrets being revealed. But the reality is that we know that he's a nasty individual. We know that he's a creep. I mean, we knew this. They knew this when they voted for him the very first time and the second time, and for those that voted for him the third time, because we had the tape, the Hollywood Access tape, where he was talking about grabbing women by the pee. We had the lawsuits that have been filed against him where he and Jeffrey Epstein were named together as being rapists. So, like, this is a matter of people just not wanting to see what's in front of them. It's amazing how people can come up with, you know, all kinds of stories on people they don't like and then ignore the truth about people that they do like. And I don't understand why
kind of like you're ignoring the truth about Bill Gates and Bill Clinton, all of those folks, right? Yeah, Summers, Weissman, all of them, right? Just convenient to ignore them. Yeah, we know they're in the files, but we won't talk about them. Projection.
So much. Because he clearly don't like them. Because when 42 million people, and I know some of them had to be MAGA, when they needed to line up to get their EBT, and it wasn't nothing there, he didn't care. So, you know, I think that people need to get back to prioritizing themselves and their families.
Okay, enough of her. I'm cutting her off. Too much airtime for that weirdo. Okay. More from Lindell TV. They're on fire these days. They asked Ro Khanna if Hakeem Jeffries should return the money after reports he solicited donations from Epstein in 2013. Check it out.
I don't know if it...
Any comment on Hakeem Jeffries' campaign soliciting money from Jeffrey Epstein himself back in 2013?
It's the first time hearing about it, obviously.
Comer said it on the floor.
Well, I don't know if it's true. I mean, you're just saying it, but obviously anyone who took money from him should return the money. Or didn't donate the money, and I don't.
Did he step down as leader?
I have to look at what you're saying. It's the first time hearing about it, but he should certainly return the money or donate the money. And it's the first time, honestly, hearing about it.
Any comment on
Ro Khanna caught off guard with that one. Representative Clay Higgins from Louisiana was the lone no vote on the release of the Epstein files. And 50 Shades of Way writes, it should be no surprise he's in favor of assault. Here's a video of him putting his hands all over someone without their consent. What's this about? Wait, where'd it go? Oh, here it is.
You can't push
No, you're out. You're out.
Oh, I remember this.
You're out. You're out.
No, this person was an agitator, so yeah. Yeah, it's no comparison here. But it is curious as to why he was the lone no vote. 21 hours ago, Caitlin Collins of CNN, another White House correspondent like yours truly, she writes that with Trump set to sign the Epstein bill, Thomas Massie says their recourse will be legal if the files aren't released.
Steep climb.
If the administration doesn't release what it has, what will you do as the two who led this charge and were the originals that are the reason we're here tonight?
Well, as Rose said, there are criminal penalties if they don't follow the law. And that's the recourse that we would follow. We undertook a very steep hill, a steep climb to get this done. There have been subpoenas, there have been resolutions, there's been an oversight committee. Those are all sort of Mother May I request to the administration, we decided to do this as a law, which means it has to pass both chambers and even be signed by the man who was opposed to it. At least be presented to him. He could have always vetoed it. And because we're going to overcome all three of those hurdles, our recourse is legal now. These people could eventually go to jail for not releasing these files.
If the
They could go to
administration
jail for
doesn't
not releasing the files. I don't think that's going to happen. Finally, at least one lefty gets it. Here's Chunk Uger.
Oh, I'm on the left, I'm a Democrat, but what the hell was that? That was crazy. So he's apparently got these Congress people on speed dial, and he's watching. I read the whole story, of course, and he's watching the entire hearings, and he's texting people different directions. Did anybody know that Epstein was running our government? I mean, that was amazing. Did you see? She doesn't know who Rona is, so she misspells it in the text. She thinks it might be an acronym for something, and then she says, Ms. Rona. Rona's her first name. It's Rona Graff, the assistant for Trump. She literally has no idea what she's asking. She's only asking that question because Epstein directed her to ask that question. And interesting that Epstein at that point is directing people on how to damage Trump. So that doesn't serve any of my interest for me to tell you that, but that's what's happening in that hearing, right? You gotta be fair and you gotta call out what's actually happening. But what's interesting in all the emails is Epstein goes back and forth, back and forth. Should we hurt Trump or should we help Trump? Should we hurt or help? And depending on what Trump is saying. And he categorizes Trump as dangerous. My guess as to why he thinks Trump is dangerous is because usually when someone is bought or blackmailed, they stay bought or blackmailed.
They stay bought or blackmailed. Chunk Uger. Certainly seeing the light of this issue here. Moving right along, Scott Jennings sparring with Joshua Doss, who accuses him of being a racist for using the phrase, "this is an IQ test." Rare bipartisan moment.
No, I don't. No, that's exactly the... Scott, you keep saying, well, he didn't do anything. There's no indication of criminality. If that's true, he should be elated that we're putting these things out.
If that's true, it is true. Can you name any evidence?
I would like to see the evidence. What I'm saying is...
You think after 10 years of public life, you wouldn't know it already?
No, I don't. No, that's exactly the point.
Oh, my goodness.
Scott,
this is an IQ test. Don't fail it. Come on, man.
Scott,
10 years Donald Trump has been in public life.
That's embarrassing.
Scott, it is an IQ test. I mean, for 10 years, we haven't heard any names. So you really think that no one's involved?
No, obviously, Larry Summers was involved, Stacey Plaskett was involved. There's all kinds of people involved with Jeffrey Epstein.
If someone was...
Just real quick, I just want to bring it back to something that just happened. I feel like I just heard Scott call into question this black man's intelligence with the IQ test.
That's what
I feel like I heard that. And so I just want to say something. This is what it sounded like.
You want to make it racial, go ahead, but it's ridiculous.
Well, I mean, I think that...
By the way, we know each other and we're friends. I know this man. He's a smart guy, and we're having a debate. We're having a debate. Don't make it into so we don't even know each other, but we do.
This actually relates back to the topic that we're having, Scott. There is you're sitting here with so much confidence without seeing all of the documents that Donald Trump is innocent. There is a presumption of guilt that a black man walks around the United States with. That I have been watching Donald Trump navigate this situation with the presumption of innocence that is never afforded to us, right? This is the same guy that is trailing 29 rape allegations. And we have videos of him saying things like, grab him by the you-know-what. Just the very fact that he's connected to the country's most egregious pedophile, enough. That fact alone is enough for us to ask questions about if it's a disqualifying factor for leadership. So I just don't know why you're so fervent right now saying that I know for a fact he has nothing. Can we see the files and make that decision? Scott?
Look, here's what I think. It's been going on for 10 years. If there was a shred of anything to know about Donald Trump, we would already know it. What do we know? We know.
I'm answering your question. Evidence is not the evidence of absence.
Oh, please! Over there on CNN, they're always trying, always reaching. Here's more from Caitlin Collins. Jenna Lisa Jones, an Epstein survivor who voted for Trump because of his support for releasing the files, agrees he should invite survivors to the Oval Office.
In your head, yes. When Congressman Khanna is saying that the president should have you and the other survivors there when he signs this bill.
He owes us that much. He owes us an apology. for sure. And I think that would be one way of showing some remorse for this drawn out process that didn't need to be.
And you don't see this in a political way. I was listening to you this morning. You said you voted for President Trump, actually, but your plea was to stop making this about him and to essentially start making it about y'all.
Yeah, I mean, he really ran his campaign on this. This is why I voted for him. This release of these files has been so important to me for so long that when he ran with that, I really had some hope that someone was going to do something about it, no matter what the motive was, right, behind it, that he was going to release them and so solidarity with us. But then he completely flipped. And I mean, he was even working with our lawyers and stuff. So it was really hard to go from helping us to completely turning on us and then calling it a Democratic hoax when he knew it wasn't. So he thought it was just a political play, and I think that was wrong, and I think that added fuel to the fire against both parties and where it didn't need to be.
Well, look, it was a Democrat hoax because they kept saying, they're still saying he's in the files. But here's the real deal. Hakeem Jeffries, all right, the Timu Obama, the future of the Democrat Party, personally solicited donations from Epstein back in 2013. Okay, not 2003, not before anybody knew. 2013, years after Epstein's conviction made international headlines. The emails are real, timeline undeniable, and when asked about it, even fellow Democrats are running for cover. Representative Troy Nehls didn't mince any words. You want to fix D.C., get the money out of it. The money he's talking about? Epstein's money, Democrat money. So this changes everything. The same Democrats who spent years calling Trump a threat to democracy were literally taking money from Jeffrey Epstein after the world knew he was a monster. They knew exactly who he was. They knew exactly what he did. And they cashed the checks anyway. This is not corruption. It is complicity. Every American needs to understand that the people lecturing us about morality were swimming in the darkest money imaginable. The cover-up has failed, and the files are opening, and the reckoning has begun. So here's my question. Let's have a conversation now in the comments section. Should every politician who took Epstein money be forced to resign immediately? Yes or no? Let's talk about it. And while you're at it, make sure you check out our Next News merch shop. The link's in the description. Real journalism needs your support now more than ever. Because if we don't expose them, who will?